Oh,
Okay, and we
boy.
are live with another episode of BS Busters. Before we go any further, we're joined by someone who hasn't been in the cast last time, but he's here now. But before he introduces himself, we'll let the lady introduce herself. So go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all, sure, I'd like to start welcoming you to the BS. We got a lot of trash to take care of, and today is trash day for me too.
All right, and Kenoshi.
This is Kanashi Abominito, and Bungie has served Activision's divorce papers, and we're going to see we're going to see how Bungie acts on their own, if they're actually any better or any worse without Activision.
Yeah,
Isn't that the main topic?
I mean, that's one of the big topics, but I mean, it's an hour and a half long podcast, so I mean, that probably won't be the only topic available. So of course we may be joined by Don, but he's currently out dining with his parents. I wish I could go out dining, but it's snowing gangbusters where I am, so I can't even get to the main road because where I live, where my house is, it literally is where like the housing development. Well, the thing is, like, the housing development ends on my street, even though technically I'm in the housing development. So it's like they have to get a third party contractor to shovel our street. So we're always like the last street to get shoveled. So
yeah, you're low snowed.
Like my driveway's clear and I can get my car to the road, but the road's shoveled in. So, even if I wanted to go out to
You poor soul.
Yeah, all the people, I wish I had some snow. Fuck snow.
Yeah,
that would be down here in Georgia.
The problem with moving to places like California is too freaking expensive. Plus, you got to deal with all the other natural disasters. Like,
it depends on where you live. It all depends on where you live. Like Japan is
depends
expensive.
On location.
Japan is really expensive if you live in the city, but if you live in the country or in one of the more moderately priced suburbs, cost of living isn't any higher than what you'd have here in America, really. The thing is like it's like what you want. Like, yeah, it's cheaper to live out in the country in America, but there's nothing in
this. What happens in the BS Buster, gentlemen.
It's like, hey, I want to go to the movies. Oh, that's 30 miles north. It's like, well, shit.
There's hazards no matter where you live, ladies and gentlemen.
It just depends. It's like, if you're someone who's a foodie and you like eating different styles of food, living out in the country probably won't help you. Because, you're probably just going to have, like, shitty family restaurants where it's like, hey, you want to go to Applebee's? You want some KFC? Nothing wrong with KFC, but if you want to try different types of food, living out in the country probably not conducive to that.
I'm usually fine with like a bar burger every once in a while or something like that.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't mind eating steak once a year. Once or twice a year. After about once or twice a year, it just gets old real quick.
The thing is like, you shouldn't really eat that much red meat anyway. I'm just simply saying, if you like to eat, like, if you want decent sushi, if you want decent seafood that isn't frozen and ships from someplace else, like fresh seafood, you're probably going to have to live someplace that has, like, the trappings of civilization, if you were. Let me put it this way. If you live someplace where people think fine dining is TGIF,
you need to get a new location.
Well, I mean, if that's what they consider fine dining, and you're used to someplace that has higher quality restaurants, then you're probably not going to want to live there for a long time. But that's neither here nor there. So, topics. Before we get any further, what have you guys been playing?
Uh,
Well, I've been smashing on and off, playing Radiant Historia, and tempted to play Pen and Paper too.
Yeah, I can hear Kenoshi playing Smash Brothers right now.
yeah. I also bought Tales of the Tales game that was on the 360. I purchased that on PC.
I got it on PC. Yeah. I've been playing it. It's pretty fun. I've been playing it with the awesome trainer that gives you like a huge amount of that gives you infinite cash and infinite HP. It's like basically a boss that before kicked my ass the first time I played this game on a 360. Like I just steamrolled his ass and got a secret badge. I'm like, yeah, cheating. It's the only way to go.
I was about to say cheesy, but you said it better.
Yeah, cheating. Hey, look. My rule of thumb with RPGs is the first time you play them, you don't cheat. You play the game it was meant to be played. The second time you play it, cheat your ass off if you want to, because now all the gloves are up.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about most.
So, if anything, people say that if an RPG has a hard mode, play that before you go cheating.
Nah, man, fuck that. I'm not trying to make shit harder on myself than it needs to be, especially on an RPG. Considering that RPGs, especially old school RPGs, would kick you in the nuts for free anyway. Especially those old Final Fantasies and Dragon Quests. No.
You're right. Some RPGs are deserving their rear ends kicked if they abuse you too much when you play normally.
But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I've been playing it. So I guess we can get to.
Oh, and Crosscodes. I realized that. I know it's been out of. I just realized it was out of early access. So.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, I got the Double Cross on PC as well. That awesome platformer that has you like going to different dimensions and platforming, and it has this mechanic where you can like grab shit from out of this grab stuff and then fling it at enemies. And when you like go to grab stuff, it slows down time around you so you can aim it and shit. Pretty fun. A little sloppy, but then again, like I'm getting my new PC built for me. So I'm using my laptop, and my laptop is not really built for gaming, but fuck it, I'll go with it.
Maybe you should try some PC. Maybe you should try an RPG game that's free on there to see if that is even out.
So do you have a friend building it for you, or are you doing it through one of those boutiques?
I have a friend building it for me, but they got to get the parts together. So. Yeah. It's going to take a while, but that doesn't bother me because, there's nothing.
You're patient.
There's nothing where I'm absolutely like, oh my God, if I'm not able to play a game, it just means that I'm just having to brute force it through my laptop. I could play games on my computer at work, but you cannot be the boss and play video games at work. It's not good. But that's neither here nor there.
It's a moral killer.
Yeah, that's not good. But I guess we can get to the first topic. Activision and Bungie had a divorce, and Bungie gets to keep the kids.
Yeah.
And if anybody's wondering, it's rare that a developer or creator of an IP can actually keep their own game. So
very rarely
is actually.
Yeah, very rarely in those situations do the kids stay with their mother. They normally go with the father. Case in point, Clover, which later became Platinum, created Okami and God Hand and Beautiful Joe, and I know they did like another game for Capcom. And all those games basically, like when Clover left and became Platinum and all those people left, those IPs stayed with Capcom, even though Capcom has, aside from pimping out Okami on everything, they've done nothing with any of it. So,
and another example would be in a certain case that represents this, Microsoft and Bungie.
Yeah. Bungie left Microsoft. and Halo stayed with Microsoft. Not that they've done anything really useful with it, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers. So, I mean, in this case, this is weird. Personally, I think Activision was like, look, it's not making money, fuck it. But, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
I'm happy for Bungie, and I got a good laugh at Activision's expense, and I hope that Blizzard sees the writing on the wall.
Okay. Kenoshi?
I don't know. Is it possible that Destiny could actually be better without Activision, or could it actually be worse?
I think it could be better. I mean, I'm not a scientist. You know, I don't know everything that was happening behind the scenes, but here's what I know. Okay, here's what I can say with absolute certainty. The things that basically hurt Destiny 1, like how it was like half a game, and how it basically was kind of like there was major parts of it missing, of like the game missing that should have been there day one. I think a lot of that was on Activision. Like, I think they were like, hey, you can make more money if you do this. Like, this can be more profitable if you do this. And it's like, look, I understand that, but here's the thing. Like, what you're doing, like when you come out with a game, right? When you come out with a new IP, that first game has to be fucking dynamite, right? It's like when the first Halo came out, right? Like, the first Halo was good.
Yeah.
And then Halo 2 kicked it up a notch. Like, the first Destiny was kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
It was disappointing. And then Destiny 2 is like, it's better, but it's not like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, like, yeah, some of that is just design, but I think a lot of those designs were kind of pushed in by Activision. They were like, well, hey, don't put this in here. You could save it for the expansion. You know, make bad shit sound like it's positive, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, I'm not a scientist. I don't know everything about everything, but I am reasonably, you know, because Activision,
Adept.
Well, I mean, let's look at Activision. Let's look at the history. Basically, Activision has released fewer and fewer new games over the last 5 or 6 years. Actually, I'd say a decade. They've basically been leaning on Blizzard with new Warcraft expansions and Overwatch and shit like that. Leaning on Call of Duty. Right, like Activision's claim to fame is that they will find something that's really hot, milk it until those teats are giving out powdered milk. Okay, and then when the cow dies, they're like, "Well, we used that up. Let's move on and go drain another cow dry." That's basically Activision's mantra. They did it to Tony Hawk. They did it to Guitar Hero. They love killing things.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why, but they do.
Yeah. It's only a matter of, I mean, after what they did to the first game, you'd figure they would try to just buy their way out of the contract or something.
Nope, they can't do that. So, I mean, like I said, I don't like. I want Bungie to be able to release games and not have them be bastardized by a publisher. Because say whatever you want to about Microsoft, but when Bungie was at Microsoft, they released 3 really good Halo games. I mean, I personally prefer Halo 2 over Halo 3, but you know, that's a preference. All 3 of them are good. Halo 4 sucks. Halo 5 sucked. Halo 6 is probably gonna suck. Just because, you know.
Yeah.
343 Studios, half of Bungie, which is what 343 Studios is, it's half of Bungie, is not as good as a whole Bungie, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Still, I'm at least happy to know that Bungie is getting their own thing going on. Though,
yeah.
how it'll turn out, anybody's guess.
I mean, I personally would love for it to turn out well, just because, I mean, like, I've never been like, oh my God, Bungie's the best studio ever, but they did make some really good games. So, can it be good? I don't know. It could be, but, you know.
It can happen, but you got to wait for it.
I guess we can move on to the next topic, which you wanted to bring up, Joel, if I remember correctly.
Oh, God. Do I really hate these assholes thinking that they should drop all handhelds, especially the 3DS, even though it is long in the tooth. We have to acknowledge that, for putting everything on the Switch. Where do I even begin? And I'm trying to keep my swearing down because this is a piss off topic on me. You can understand that, right?
Well, I mean, if you feel passionate about it, go ahead, knock yourself out.
The thing is, the 3DS is a good system, and I hope that it has a successor in the future. But hearing all these people talking about the 3DS should be killed off so the Switch can succeed, that the Switch has a thorn in its side and its name is the 3DS.
Yeah, but the Switch is already succeeding.
Yeah, that's the thing. Especially, and I'm going to put this exactly because I know there's some a-holes, especially when there's people saying that the Switch will not succeed without the help of the content creators.
You mean the people who are on YouTube?
Yep.
Well, fuck them. I mean, I don't know about you, but never have I played a game, and never have I bought a game because a YouTube personality said, "Hey, man, you should get this game."
I take them as a review source. Like, they're not the only ones, but they are ones that can tell me what the game is like.
No, man, I just don't care. I've never seen a YouTube person and been like, yeah, because they like a game, I'm gonna like a game. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I don't base my thing on. I don't base on what I like based on others' reviews.
Yeah, so
I it's not gameplay.
So
I can't believe there are people that still are talking about, you know, the killing off the 3DS when the Switch is selling pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean, like, here's the thing, okay? This is like business 101, okay? Or just life 101. You don't put all your fucking eggs in one basket. All right? So yeah, the Switch is what is selling well right now, right? Right?
Yep.
Mhm. I mean, I got my Switch.
I mean, not the Switch. The 3DS. Yeah, the Switch is selling well right now. But here's the thing, right? Like, yeah, it's selling well right now, but I mean, what happens when inevitably the Switch reaches the, near its, market
Near its
saturation,
twilight years.
right? Near market saturation. Everyone who wants a Switch has a Switch. Like, you got to have some other, thing going on here. And that's the thing that people just don't understand. They just, oh, well, I'll just put everything in one thing.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, have a backup plan for Star's sake. I mean, if anything, I'm hoping for a backup plan for the 3DS, and when the 3DS, when the Switch has its time to fade into the twilight, I hope that the Switch has a successor. And that means that I want continuation and legacy, not BS that people are saying to put all their things in one basket.
Well, I mean, that's just bad business. Like, okay, so what if something happens and, this is hypothetical. What if Sony comes out with something that's like insane and it kicks the Switch's ass, right? And the Switch sales go down. So, I mean, what happens then? like Nintendo's got a Switch that's not selling as well. And I mean, like, you want to have multiple revenue streams. You don't want to have everything just be in one revenue stream, because if that one revenue stream dies down, you're fucked.
Yeah, especially when it plunges faster than a brick wall hitting the floor.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, like I'm not one of those people who's like, well, the 3DS just needs to stay here forever. I know on a technical level, because Nintendo has no direct competition for the 3DS.
There's no incentive for that,
basically. There's no direct incentive, but the thing is like the 3DS is getting long in the tooth. All right,
that's something that I said earlier, that we can't ignore that.
It's getting old. It's
needing a walking cane.
It's getting old, and like a lot of the third parties that used to put a lot of games on the system are moving those projects to the Switch. So it would really behoove Nintendo to have another platform. And I know some people say, well, their third platform can be mobile. Yeah, but if you look at the numbers on mobile, the biggest game on mobile right now for Nintendo is directly from them.
I think it's either Fire Emblem or it's the new game Dragalia Lost.
No, it's Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is their biggest game. And what's the big thing about the Fire Emblem games is that they're all very about Fire Emblem Heroes. It's very microtransaction heavy. Okay,
we can't deny that, especially since I actually try to evade that.
But
at least the Fire Emblem.
Yeah, but the thing is like eventually that's gonna go down too, where people are gonna lose interest in that. So I mean, like eventually people are gonna lose interest in that shit too. So it's like you can't really depend on mobile, because look at all the mobile studios, right? That had a game, right? That was hot for like 6 months, a year, 2 years, and then all of a sudden it went below a certain subscription cap. People stopped putting not subscription, but people stopped putting money into it. And guess the fuck what? Those publishers shuttered. I mean, those developers shuttered. And those are like small people that had shit that was way more popular than Pokemon, and way more popular than than Fire Emblem that have their shit going shuttered. Now Nintendo's not going to do that, but I mean you have to have different revenue streams. You can't just go with one thing. Personally, I think Nintendo should have whatever the 3DS successor is. It should be backwards compatible with 3DS, maybe even the DS, because same cartridge slot size and everything, and stuff like that. But that's just me. It might not have that. So. But your thoughts, Kenoshi?
I don't know. I guess they could create like a Switch ecosystem, but
yeah, whatever they do, it has to be. It has to, in some way, interact with the Switch. Like, I actually thought about this a while ago. I said, wouldn't it be cool if if you have a household where you have a Switch, if the 3DS successor interacted with the Switch? So like, let's say you were playing like a multiplayer game, like someone could just like play their game, by itself.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, they haven't really created a console that interacts with their handhelds that much.
Like, I just really think, like, to kind of fulfill that promise that the Vita made but never gave us because Sony just loves to copy shit from other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be like a better platform that actually truly interacted with the system rather than this sort of halfway thing that they were going for with the PlayStation PS Portable and the PlayStation Vita.
Oh yes, the Vita. Like, I mean, wouldn't it be cool to have a handheld with your Switch that lets you have that second screen experience without being like
tethered?
Yeah.
Without you having $100.
Are we talking about Soulja Boy ripping off the PSP?
No, we're talking about if there was a success, like, if Nintendo, we're speculating on a successor for the 3DS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're basically saying like what would be a neat thing to have for a successor to the 3DS. I personally said it would be cool to have it would be cool if it interacted with the Switch. Because the thing is like up until this point, Nintendo has never had a handheld that was built around the principle of interacting with their console.
I mean, the only thing that came close was the GBA and the GameCube with stuff like Zelda.
Yeah, but you still had to have like a fucking peripheral to do it. So
yeah,
it still wasn't built around the concept of having that, that second. I mean, you could say technically, kind of, sort of, the.
I mean, with wireless technology being a lot better, you could do,
I mean, you could technically say kind of, sort of, the the Wii U.
Yeah.
Because the controller was kind of like, I think if you had a controller that basically could do all that cool shit.
It's Super Smash Bros. For Wii U that has the 3DS as one of the optional controllers.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just kind of like, oh, well, we just kind of threw it in there. I'm just saying it would be cool if they legitimately had a handheld that was built around the concept of being used in conjunction with your home console. And they could make it so that, like, whatever the Switch's successor is would work with that handheld and future Nintendo handhelds. So it doesn't feel like,
It doesn't feel like it's. Yeah.
Because the thing is like I legitimately do think that it would be unwise for Nintendo to just go all in on one device. Just because, you know, just business wise, it makes sense to have multiple revenue streams, right?
Not to mention, they have yet to implement HD in any of their handheld systems.
Yeah, but you really don't need HD for a handheld.
No.
I mean, it'd be nice,
Yeah.
but it's not like, oh my god. Because the thing is, like, HD is really impressive when it's on a big screen. When it's on something that's like right in front of your face, it like you don't even recognize that it's HD, really. I mean, that's kind of the problem with people saying they want HD. HD handheld is like, would you even care that it's HD? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool. I'm just saying you probably wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know some people are going to get angry because people always get angry when you say
Just so
things
long
like
as the gimmick works of whatever the successor gimmick is.
Yeah, it's gonna have to have some type of gimmick that's gonna like appeal to people. The price is gonna have to be right. I don't think they can, like, the price can't be more than half of what the Switch is. So it can't be
And
more
short, somewhere around 120 and 160.
I would say between 120 and
You think of a number?
I would say somewhere between 120 and 170. 170 on the higher end. Like 170 is like, okay, this comes in a deluxe thing with a charger. I can't believe we had.
I would say 160 because if anything, that's at least before taxes.
Like we give Sony a lot of crap for this, but you know, you got to remember the new 3DS also didn't come with a charger.
Yeah,
like that's some BS.
Those people who said that's some bullshit. I was like, this is some bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was not one of those people. Oh no, I would never say that. I was like, this is some fucking bullshit right here.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird thing to do.
They were trying to cut costs. That's what that shit was. That was, oh, we don't want to spend the money on it.
Yeah.
Look, I love Nintendo. It is my favorite. Nintendo is my favorite video game company. But they do some shit where it's like, you were just being fucking cheap.
Yeah.
And I know they were being cheap. I know they were like, look, we want to save money.
I know they sometimes cut corners, and I can understand that sometimes. But sometimes they cut a little too much.
Every Nintendo handheld up to that point had the power source in the box. The fucking Game Boy came with batteries. All right? The Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color, all of them came with batteries. But now with the new 3DS, oh no, we can't. No power source.
Whoever's in charge of the budget there, they need to watch it.
It's just to prevent the new 3DS from costing more.
I'd pay more if they had a fucking battery. Shit.
Yeah.
But then it'll cost as much as the original 3DS originally was.
So yeah. I bought the 3DS at launch. The original.
Same here.
The new 3DS.
So
that doesn't like. I wasn't one of those people who's like, man, this price is too much. Because they had all those 3DS games on there that you could play. Then they had the ambassador program, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, even though I barely got one from that ambassador program myself, I barely knew about it. That's why.
So I mean, like I know some people are gonna get angry. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't like those prices," and I didn't want to pay that much. Look, listen, okay, I know.
Some of them pay premium for certain conveniences.
Yeah, it's like I'm one of those people. I would if they said, okay, if Nintendo said our handheld games are no longer going to be like, generally speaking, Nintendo's handheld games are between
they're between $40
$39
and
and $49, depending on the type of title. $39 and $49, right? I would pay more. I literally would pay more if it came with a if their games
with
came
deluxe feature
with a manual, like they used to, like a full color quality fucking manual. I'd pay more. And
yeah,
no,
you hear that?
manual
People will
doesn't-
pay for premium items like instruction manuals, a little bit of a guide, or even a poster.
No, I mean like a manual, like they used to back in the day. They're like, well, we had to cut costs. I'll pay more for a fucking manual. Legitimately, I will pay more for a manual.
So nowadays, people are stop making physical manuals in order to save trees.
No, it's about cost. It has nothing to do with trees. Because they could use recycled paper, and I wouldn't care. I just like manuals. For me, because I'm of that certain age group of gamers. I remember when my parents used to buy me a game, and the first thing I would do
is read the manual.
Because you
know
couldn't
how to
play
play.
the game. You had to wait till you got home. But you could read that damn manual and figure out the special moves of the story or whatever.
But don't
And they
feel
took
sometimes
that away.
sometimes
we
the
had to save
background
money.
sometimes the background story, of how everything came to be in the game is in the manual.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you had important shit in the manual, okay?
That I could
And I
agree
know
on.
they're like,
And
we gotta save money, we gotta do all that shit. Look, I have nothing against people trying to save money, but seriously, like, they're saving money, and then there's just like some shit is a
being
sunk cost.
cheap.
Yeah, some shit is just a sunk cost. Like I can't like I have a business. I can't sit there and be like, okay, well, I gotta charge people for toilet paper.
I was about to say, do you know anybody else that charges people for using TP?
No. Like if you're at a business and they're charging people to use the bathroom, that's a shitty business.
Some places in Europe,
Interesting way to put
they
it.
actually do charge you to use the bathroom.
Yeah, that is a shitty. Well, it's different in Europe because a lot of those places have shitty sewers. Like they've been using the same sewer system for the last 200, 300 years. In America, our sewer system isn't that old, so it's not as jacked up. So it's not as fucked up.
And if anything, it's supposed to be refreshed every few 10 years.
Oh God, no, they don't. No, they don't. We don't spend nearly enough money on infrastructure, but because our infrastructure is so young, it's not nearly as bad. If you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I was saying at least do maintenance.
No, that's the thing. Like they don't even really do maintenance. Is what I'm saying. Like it's pretty bad. It's infrastructure. Our infrastructure in America is not as good as it could be. Let me put it that way.
Oh, the potholes are the size of cars.
Oh yeah. Don't live in a city that has heavy foot traffic. You will not be happy. I mean, heavy cars.
Car traffic, yeah.
But anyway, that's just me. But as I was saying, yeah, I'm a. But yeah, I'm like, I really do think there needs to be a successor to the 3DS. I don't know what it is, but I don't like like I think the 3DS has a good like the 3DS has enough support. Okay, you're getting several first party games a year from Nintendo supporting that system. You're getting a ton of you're getting a ton of you're getting a ton of third-party games. You're getting a good amount of second-party games, and you're getting a good amount and you're getting some great first-party games. I mean, and people are like, "Well, we're not getting as much as the first year." The first year, let's keep it real. A lot of those fucking games, the first year, were games that were supposed to come to the Wii U, had it sold better, and they just moved them over to the Switch. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of those games that came in the first year were a whole bunch of fucking ports of Wii U games anyway. Like literally, like Lego City Undercover. Yeah, that game. Like I had that. They were charging people $60 for that game on the Switch when you could get it on the Wii U for $20.
Well, the thing is, like the first game this year, the first game that came out this year is a port of a Wii U game.
It's Mario. It's Mario Wii U Deluxe. Here's the problem.
Those games infuriate me.
I already have that damn game on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Well,
why did I get that game again?
The reason it was ported is due to the Japanese audience in mind, because Super Mario Brothers U was the worst-selling new Super Mario Brothers game in Japan.
Man, that's bullshit. The reason they ported it is because
that was according to one of our contributors, because he's been keeping an eye on game sales.
Man, that's bullshit. The reason that game was ported over was because Nintendo needed to have a game. They needed to have a game out like at the beginning of the year, and they were like, "Well, shit, let's port this over." Because despite what many of those so-called fake-ass game console, like I know the hardware, like they like to say, the architecture between the Switch and the Wii U is very similar, and they just ported that shit over and called it a day. It's cool that they included all that other shit. That was nice, but that's what it was. I mean, like, I don't know why people keep on trying to make shit up. Oh, well, you know, come on, man.
I mean, the new Super Luigi U DLC was what, $30 when you buy it separately on a.
No, I think if I remember correctly, if you bought like if you like there was a time period when it was like free or $10 or free for people who owned Deluxe. I think it was like free or like $10 or something, like a really, really low, like small amount if they were charging. And then after
like about $5.
Yeah, then it went up to 30. So yeah, I got my shit early. So or maybe it was part of the Club Nintendo at the time when Club Nintendo actually had cool shit on it and not whatever the fuck it is now. But everyone was complaining, I don't like Club Nintendo. I don't like Club Nintendo. You think the shit they have now is better? But that's just me. What do I know? I'm just a dude. But
we were I think you deviated from having from the 3DS to paying up front for more from a system or a handheld game to Nintendo's My Nintendo shop.
Yeah. Sorry. I tend to sometimes go off track with these, but we were talking about a 3DS successor. So what would you like to see from a 3DS successor, Kenoshi?
The 3DS successor? Pretty much the same thing. I'd like to see a console that would actually interact with the Switch more rather than, as much crap as we give Sony. I mean, at least they they tried with the PSP and the PS Vita to have a console that interacted with their console, with their main home console, to create some kind of ecosystem between the two. So, and we've barely seen that from Nintendo. So that
when they did, it was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I
mean, they did
that's the sad thing.
They did absolutely nothing with the DS and the Wii. Like, those consoles never interacted with each other, as far as I know.
They only had one game, as far as I know, that interacted. Hold on, yeah, there was only one game, but they did have But they did let you download demos from the Wii to the 3DS. To the DS and 3DS.
It was like, yeah, this is cool, but I mean, it always felt like kind of like a missed opportunity with how Nintendo basically did their like how they didn't really like combine their handheld with their home console. I'm hoping that with Nintendo's handheld division and home console division coming together in Japan, that their next 3DS successor, if they have one, which they probably will actually interact with their home console, because that'd be cool. And no, unlike some people, I don't think it's just going to be a handheld Switch, because that sounds kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That sounds a little stupid.
Yeah, because
you get completely separate from the Switch.
Yeah. Well, the thing that people don't understand, they're like, well, the Switch is a handheld. Well, it isn't really. It's, first of all, you can't.
It's a console that can be. Yeah, people say that they could take their. Yeah, people say that they could take their Switch on the go, and that's one of the. And that's one of the big annoyances to me, because seriously, you're saying that just because you could take the Switch on the go wherever you want to, that it's going to replace the 3DS.
Well,
that's one of the.
It's because I mean we're not talking about 3DS. We're talking about like a dedicated handheld. The shit that the Switch can do is awesome for a portable home console. But I mean, there's shit that the Switch can't do that a dedicated console can do. And there's shit that the Switch can't do that a dedicated handheld can do. So it's kind of like in going for a portable console, Nintendo gave up the strengths of a dedicated console and the strengths of a dedicated handheld. You know.
Yeah.
So.
If anything, a dedicated handheld or a dedicated console means that there's some things that one could do that the other can't, or if better yet, one could be implemented to use certain functions that the other can. Yeah. And in a way, this is going to go into my hopes for the 3DS successor, that it can interact with the Switch, that it could do some things that the Switch can't. And if anything, maybe get rid of the AR system, because, well, I'm not sure how popular that is, and they include that with every Nintendo system.
They could have done something with it, but
the thing is like, I think
this is the Nintendo's problem. Is they have these really weird ideas
that are neat, but they don't take them all the way.
Well, rumor has it that they're still going to use AR technology for their Mario Kart ride system at Universal Studios.
Man, I don't give a shit about the ride system. It would be cool. It would be cool if Nintendo's next handheld, instead of having a screen, it was just AR. Wouldn't that shit be awesome? That'd be some futuristic shit right there. That'd be awesome. I'd play that game. But that's just me. We have some comments here from our old friend Jorge Zaldivar. Not the only person watching, but the only one commenting. If you guys are watching, comment. What game?
Yeah, I mean, we like speaking.
So we have a few questions from Jorge Zaldivar. What game is your favorite platformer?
Ooh, you're asking the wrong person for platformers. So, can any of you guys take this one for me?
Kenoshi, what's your
Mario
favorite
Odyssey.
platformer?
Probably the old Mario Galaxy games.
Okay.
Mario Odyssey was good. It's just Mario Galaxy, just had that whole physics thing going for it. Plus,
Pinky?
I already mentioned Super Mario Odyssey.
All right. My favorite platformer, I'm going to give you two answers. I'm going to give you one that's 2D and the other one that's 3D. My favorite 2D platformer used to be Super Mario World, but I recently went back and played that, and I'm like, it's good. It's not the best 2D platformer ever. The best 2D platformer, in my opinion, is Donkey Kong Country 2. Because that game is just... The platforming can get hard, but when you die in that game, it's not because it was cheap or unfair. You died because your skills weren't good enough, which I love about.
I'm gonna call you out on that for only only a few certain levels, and that would be the roller coasters.
No, even then, because I've done those roller coaster levels and gotten all the Kong letters, found the DK coin. Like I've completed those, and they're hard, but they're not like when you die in those, it's like because you didn't have the timing down. It's not because a cheap platforming death, which I liked about the Donkey Kong Country 2. There's only one level. There's only one set.
I was saying,
There's only.
I was calling out the roller coaster. You have to really, because you basically have to go back to start in some of those levels if you missed something.
That is correct. It's all about pattern memorization and level memorization. But there's only one set of levels in Donkey Kong Country 2 that basically make me say, fuck this game. And those are those bramble levels. Not the first one, but later on in the game, those bramble levels are a bitch. But
you mean the secret levels?
No. The bramble, any of the bramble levels where you're like in the bramble.
Oh yeah. Yes, those levels. The one
Not the first one. The first one's kind of easy, but after that, you get further in the game. Those things are just a motherfucker. Which is
I was going to say they're throwing your side.
Because pun intended. Which is amazing because they're a motherfucker, but the music for bramble levels is like really mellow and kind of calming. Which the levels, especially some of the later ones, are like, fuck this game. So. That's my favorite 2D platform. My favorite 3D platformer is Super Mario Galaxy 2. That is my favorite 3D platformer because it is just so much fun. That game is so much fun to play. It is ridiculous. So he has another comment. Kenoshi. You already said what your favorite platform is. Okay. Have any of you heard of the Muso Festival 2019? It's happening March 3rd this year. Yeah, you've mentioned it in several podcasts. And I mean, is anyone here interested in the Muso games?
No.
If I remember right, the Musos would be the Dynasty Warriors, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yes. Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors.
There's a Musto Festival? I never heard about it.
Yeah, the games where you're just one person fighting loads and loads of the same enemies with the same button combinations, occasionally mixing it up so that you can power up an all-powerful screen-clearing attack that does massive damage to a group of enemies, then rinse and repeat over and over and over.
It's the most boring genre out there.
I thought it was an in real life event. Fan event, I mean.
No, I mean,
kind of like comic conventions.
But here's the thing: I'm not saying that the Muso games are boring. Like, look, if you like the Muso games, God bless you. Me personally, like, there's certain themed Muso games that I like. Like, I like the Bastard one. That was good. I like the one that not Bastard. Berserk. No. Yeah, Berserk. I like the one that was
Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, Fist of the North Star, and the one that it's about the demons and the guy named Guts who's been possessed by a demon who has that big ass sword. I think it's called Bastard, or is it Berserk? I know it starts with a B. But anyway, I like those two. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Muso games. Like, Dragon Quest Warriors, I tried to get into, and it just was too shitty. The first one. And the second one's a lot better, but it's still not good. Have any idea what might succeed the Switch? We talked about that. Well, we talked about the 3DS. The Switch, I don't know where Nintendo can go after the Switch. Whatever it is, it's going, like, if they're going to keep on the portable home console thing, then they're just going to have a more powerful one, a more powerful portable home console. Which, considering how technology is going, they can definitely do with a decent price point. The Xbox One successor, it's going to be cloud. It's going to be a cloud machine where you just stream shit to it. And maybe the first gen one will have a hard drive so that you can play games and download games, and maybe a disk drive so that you can do that. But the rest of it's just going to be streaming after that. Or Zaldivar says he wants the Pokemon Gen 8 to be the launch title for the 3DS successor.
We don't know if I'm pretty sure the Gen 8 game is going to be coming out this year because it's already been 3 years since Gen 7 is.
Yeah,
I wait for 4 years.
Yeah, here's what I think. I think that the next Pokemon Gen game, the next Gen 8 game, is going to be for the Switch. I think if the 3DS has a successor, the one after that, the Gen 9 one, will be for that. It'll probably launch for that, probably, just to kind of get it to a good start, you know? Which would be a smart move for Nintendo.
I was gonna say usually Pokemon never comes out with on launch day for any handhelds.
Well, that's true, but I'm saying it would make sense from a business standpoint because Nintendo's been doing a lot of things that we normally would not see them do. It would make sense to get that new handheld off on a good start to have it launch with like a Pokemon game or
a new
Zelda game or a Mario game, something big, right? That's going to get people's attention and say, "Oh, the only way you could play this is on this system." That would be a smart move.
Or a new IP that's just a tech demo to utilize the successor's gimmicks.
You mean like how they did with the SNES with the Mode 7 with F-Zero and all that Mode 7 goodness and Pilot?
Yep.
Is there a chance that Sony will hold their PlayStation event since they are not showing up at E3 this year? They might, depending on if they want to show the PS5 this year. I don't think, like, here's the thing. I don't see the point of showing the PS5 if they don't have games to show with it. And, like graphical fidelity has gotten increasingly less impressive with each console generation. Like, there were games in the PS3 era that looked great. So I can't really say, you know, whatever. Which title were you looking forward to before it got canceled? I was looking forward to Debunk, Brink of Extinction.
I was looking forward to Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah. I wanted to see how Mega Man got off the damn moon. Kenoshi?
What game? What was the question?
Which game were you looking forward to before it got canceled?
Oh, and also that
I don't think I really have
Mega Man Maker game. I forgot what it was called. Mega Man Unlimited, was it?
Mega Man Universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that looked cool. Scalebound.
Oh, I forgot that game got canceled.
Yeah, Scalebound looked really awesome, and then they canceled it. And I was like, oh, fuck you, Microsoft. Brink of Extinction did look cool, but, I mean, you know, Konami owns that now, so.
And as far as I know, the only thing Konami really likes to push more than their casinos would be their card games.
Yeah, so Jorge Zadimer says, since I went to Arcade Odyssey a week ago, I wish to ask you this. When was the last time you went to a video arcade? Bruh, you don't know what I do for income. What my business is. I own 3 barcade locations. I am the video arcade. but yeah, so like that was, but I like really as the owner, I don't play the games that often, but every once in a while when I close up early or something goes down, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play some Final Fight. So you know, I'd say about once a month, I'll just sit down and play games in there.
Quick question to you, Red. Do you put your games on the highest difficulty to eat quarters, or keep it on normal to see how long they last?
Depends on the games. Fighting games, I put them on not the highest difficulty because Capcom's fighting games don't have like difficulty in terms of like easy, hard, medium. It's like a scale from like 0 to 9, 9 being the hardest, 0 being the easiest. So for the Capcom games, like fighting games, I'll put those at like a 6 or a 5. So that's like medium. For the beat 'em ups, I'll put those at like, if it's like Final Fight, I'll put that at like a 3 or a 4 because like Final Fight's just fun, and I think people should be able to just play it and have fun. It depends. Like for the puzzle games, I'll do those like Puzzle Bobble and Bubble Bobble and Tetris, stuff like that. I'll put those at like an easier difficulty because, I mean, like here's the thing, people, I don't have quarters or tokens in my machines. You pay for a certain amount of time, then once the time is up, like it tells you your time is up, and then you got to swipe your card again, which you pay for like these cards. The cards come in 3 different colors. Each color corresponds to a certain amount of time. So like a green card gives you like 20 minutes. Red card gives you like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and a blue card gives you an hour. So
how much are the cards? How much is like a
well,
an hour at least?
If you order a drink and appetizer, you get a green card for free. It comes with your meal, with your drink and your appetizer. If you order an entree and a drink, you get the second card for free, like the second tier. And if you get if you get 2 drinks, two drinks, 2 entrees, and dessert, you get the blue card with everything. If you just want it by yourself, if you just purchasing it by yourself, it's like $5 for 20 minutes of gameplay, $5 for 20 minutes, and like 10 for 40, and then 20 for an hour.
Oh, okay.
Which, think about it, if you were doing quarters on some of the higher difficulty games, you'd spend more than that for an hour of gameplay. So
yeah.
Question: does adjusting the difficulties of the arcade games affect the ending? Kind of like how in those console ports where if you beat the games in lower difficulties, you don't get the true ending.
No. They only did that for home console games. For arcade games, it's all about getting, like, a lot of arcade games didn't even have endings. Like, you just basically, it would get to the end, it would loop, and the difficulty would go up, and then you just start playing again.
At least until somebody gets to the kill screen.
Yeah. Which is why Final Fight is so unusual, because it actually has an ending for a beat 'em up. Yeah, it's kind of a shitty ending, but I would pay no more than $150 for a good console. Dude, I mean, unless you're getting a console after it's been out for 2 or 3 years and the price goes down. But typically speaking, consoles today, like you can't even get, like, I think even if you get a deal on a PS4, it would be like $189, $179. Like, it's not, and that's like a base PS4. That's not like a special PS4 or anything. But You do you, boy. You do you. Are there any games with good microtransactions?
Oh, microtransactions. Did you think we could discuss about the main topic?
Are there any games?
You're like that.
Oh, as I feared.
I don't know.
Basically, the Destiny fan base are excited that now that Bungie has left Activision, that means no more microtransactions for the next Destiny game.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to. Because the thing is that Bungie is gonna have to salvage their reputation, and it's gonna be hard. Like, I don't know if they can pull it off, but here's hoping they can. Have I ever played any Japanese import games?
Likely.
Yeah. Yeah. My Little Samson is for the Famicom Disk System. It's a Japanese import game. I have the Japanese import version of Mother 3. I have the Japanese import version of Chrono Trigger because I love that game so much. I have 2 copies, one English, one Japanese. The Japanese version has some cuss words in it, basically. You can get a fan translation for it. It's pretty cool. And I have a lot of Japanese RPGs that I've basically imported, like Live Alive, Bahamut Lagoon, Shiren the Wanderer, Cyber Knight 1 and 2, Front Mission Gun Hazard. Like, I got a lot of JRPGs, so obviously. Speaking of Scalebound, which title would you like to see from Platinum Games this year aside from Bayonetta 3? I'll let you guys answer this first.
What was the cue?
Maybe somebody else.
Platinum Games this year aside from Bayonetta 3.
Maybe some people would have. Maybe one of the companies got a hold of Platinum and got the rights to Scalebound, possibly.
I'm
curious.
And they're never going to let it go. They aren't going to do shit with it. Like, Microsoft is like who's got a fine-ass wife, but they won't give it to her. But if they aren't going to go with her and they won't divorce her, no one else can have her either. Like, that's basically Microsoft.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' ideas aside from Scalebound? I mean, in Bayonetta 3. What game would you like to see from Platinum Games this year?
I'm actually curious if they'll ever do an RPG, like one of the RPGs that we go for, not one like Kingdom Hearts.
Or
and I'm wondering if they're gonna make a Murasame Castle game like Kamiya has been wanting for a while.
When Kenoshi?
What? I already said mine. Well, I don't know. About the RPG. Didn't they already do that with Nier Automata?
Yeah, but I mean, Nier Automata isn't really an RPG. It's more like an action adventure game with RPG elements. Pinky?
I already mentioned the Mysterious Murasame Castle game that Kamiya has been wanting to make for a while.
I guess it's my turn then. Okay, so I have three games I'd like to see them come out with, neither of which are probably going to happen. An Okami 2, a real Okami 2. I know people are like Okami didn't, but no. Okami is a game that needs to be on a home console. Okay, it should not be on a handheld. So a real Okami 2. Number 2, I would like to see a Beautiful Joe 3 and a Wonderful 102. I want a sequel to Wonderful 101.
Oh yeah.
Like I just really want another, because I have that game on the Wii, on the Wii U, and like I finally beat it, and I was like, man, that game was rough, but it was so much fun. But I really, I want to see it. I want to see it go do again. Okay, so Weister20 has a question. When Metroid Prime 4 comes out, will the fans support it?
No.
Not likely.
The lying thieves.
Let me put it this way: if Metroid Prime 4 fans, these Metroid Prime fans who are like, Metroid Prime will sell consoles, these motherfuckers better buy 2 or 3 copies of the damn game.
I predicted it'll only reach 1 million units, and that's about, and it'll remain stagnant.
No, I mean, I think it'll probably sell well. I don't think it's going to sell as well as people think, because, like, okay, if people think this game is going to sell 5, 6, 7 million copies, no.
They're in dreamland.
Maybe 3. And the reason I think maybe 3 is because people have been salivating, having wet dreams, changing their bed sheets, thinking about a Metroid Prime 4. And as long as they can keep as long as they could keep the control scheme and the feeling of desolation and expiration down, I think they could pull it off. The only limitations to Metroid Prime 4 could be the hardware limitations of the Switch. If they can push that shit to it squeaks like a copper penny, it'll be good.
Yeah, the Metroid fan base doesn't really exist.
No, it exists. It's just it's divided between people who actually play Metroid games and people who only played one Metroid Prime and somehow they're experts on it. It's like someone who only watched one Star Wars film but wants to tell people who've been watching the shit for years what they need to know about it. It's like, you need to shut the fuck up and go play more games in the franchise. So do you mean it is impossible for Bungie to make it with Microsoft? Well, I mean, there's just no reason for them to make it with Microsoft. I mean, like, Microsoft is like EA, except, EA doesn't lead you on. EA is like, look, we took what we wanted. EA is like a dude who went with a woman, got what they wanted, and then dumped her, right? You know where you stand. Microsoft, like I said, will lead you on and on, won't divorce you, won't let you leave the relationship, won't give in, but then no one else can hit it either. That's Microsoft. You don't believe me? Go look at Rare.
Oh.
Wonderful 102. Yes, I would love to see a Wonderful 102. Shadow Fox Infinite's in the chat. Nintendo hitting Bungie up with that 4 a.m. booty call. That could happen, but I mean,
No.
Would Nintendo team up with Bungie though? They could buy Bungie, but why? I mean, Bungie just doesn't have Bungie doesn't have the same level of workmanship that Nintendo's used to having. They'd have to change up how they do business, and so many companies don't want to change up how they do business. That's the problem we have with the industry right now. No one wants to change up how they do business. So Jorge Zadover says he would like to see Platinum Games make a few titles based on anime like Kill la Kill, Berserk, Hellsing, Vividred, Operation, and Symphogear series. I've only heard of like 3 of those.
There's already a Kill la Kill game in the works.
Yeah. Data Live could also spawn an action game from Platinum Games. Never heard of it. When Metroid Prime 4 comes out, I would really like to say, like to hear Ai Kobayashi play the voice of Samus once more. No, I think I'm going to go with Jennifer Hale because she was the voice of Samus in like 3 other games, and I just want to stick with what I know. Because the reason you like Ai Kobayashi is because you like the voice acting from Other M. But seriously, Other M can eat shit and die. I hate that game.
Ooh.
I know that sounds terrible, but I hate that game. I hate that game so much. Shadow Fox Infinite says spot on about the will they buy Metroid comment. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, okay, the hardcore Metroid Prime fans will get it. The fake Metroid Prime fans who like to talk about how they know so much about Nintendo and they know people will buy it, they're going to say because these are the same people that like Star Fox. I want Star Fox. I want a Star Fox made by Platinum. I want a Star Fox made by Platinum. I want a Star Fox that's like Star Fox 64. And they got everything they wanted. They wanted the Star Fox that wasn't made by Nintendo. They wanted Star Fox made by Platinum. They wanted Star Fox like Star Fox 64. They got everything, and then they got pissed off. So, you know, and they didn't buy the damn game. I bought the game. I had fun with it. I mean, is it my favorite Star Fox game? No. I still like the original. But, you know, I mean, how much of that is nostalgia goggles and how much of that is I just like the music because I'm an audiophile. So I don't know. That's an interesting first-person shooter developed by Bungie but published by Nintendo. What kind of game would that be? And Shadow Fox Infinite says Halo 4. Yeah, probably. But anyway, anything else you guys want to bring up before we wrap things up in this podcast?
Oh yes.
Yeah. We need to do something about this. Getting refunds when it comes to getting digital games. There needs to be like a 30-day money back guarantee thing.
Yeah, but that's
and
physical media.
You guys remember?
There's a guy there's somebody who got banned because PayPal honored a refund for.
Oh yes, I shared that article before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. I do think that you should be able to return digital purchases. I do think that should be the case.
Maybe 30 days back is pushing something.
Basically, there's this guy in one region who made a PayPal account from another region.
Yeah, I tell you what I think. I think that a reasonable response should be 14 days. 2 weeks you have to play a game, and if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you can return it in 14 days.
Yeah.
Or you can even do 7 days. You know, you get the game, you play it from when you play it, not from when it comes out, from when you play it. So let's say you download it on Steam or Epic Games or whatever, you get it digitally, or even home console should have this too. If I download a game and I play it for like 2 or 3 days, I'm like, I'm just not feeling this game. You return it, you should get your money back. And that's everyone. That should be Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. Because if I can return digital books, I should be able to return digital other stuff.
Okay, now it's my turn to bring something up. You guys remember when I mentioned Song of Memories getting delayed for censorship reasons from last podcast?
I don't know what Song of Memories is, but
it's a visual novel game.
Okay.
There's a recent article came out saying that the Switch version of that game got canceled.
Okay.
So it's coming for the PS4. And the reason behind the cancellation is due to complications, having trouble getting it to work. But because it's only coming out for the PS4, that makes things suspicious. Because Sony's censorship policies. Maybe the reason why they canceled it because it was under Sony's orders, since any because any other versions of that game may be uncensored, thus leaving less sales for the PS4 version because that version is censored.
I think you're going a little bit too far down the conspiracy rabbit.
You're saying that that's too deep.
I mean, Alex will agree with this conspiracy as well.
But I mean, that's a little too much.
I mean, we know that Sony's been trying to take control of the gaming market and trying to sabotage their competitions.
That's true. They've been doing that for years. I just don't.
You think that's a bit much?
Yeah, I think that's a bit too much. I think, especially like, okay, if it was like Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy, like something big that Sony has had a legacy of basically squashing all competition on other platforms for, I'd say you're right on the money. But for something like a shitty indie game, like visual novel indie game, I just don't see the point. I don't see the point of flexing your muscles about that, you know?
That's because the Switch is also getting other visual novel games like Steins Gate, and they are working fine.
Yeah, Steins Gate is way more. Personally, like, this is a small little indie studio that's making this game. Personally, I'll tell you what I think. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep it real here. I think that maybe they only had enough money to get it working on one platform. I think they chose PlayStation because PlayStation has a big enough install base that even if they only get like 1% of that install base, that's still big enough. Because the Switch is probably at like 20 million at this point. 1% of 20 million is 200,000?
About 200,000, yeah.
200,000? That's nice, but 1% of, let's say, 85 million is a lot more helpful. You know, that's 8,000. Sorry, that's 850,000. So that's a lot more. You know, that's a bigger install base to get for a visual novel game than, you know, on a smaller install base, and they are a small indie studio. So I don't see it as being like, you know, because I mean, no one who has a Switch is like, man, I was gonna get a Switch, but this one little visual novel game's not coming to it, so fuck it, I'm not gonna get it. That's not a make or break game for the system, you know.
Yeah, but
Sony's pretty fucked up. Look, we can all agree on that, but they aren't that. They aren't that.
They are that sadistic.
They aren't that good. Okay.
Yeah, but one of our contributors from VGF would want this game to be ported on Switch because he wants all third-party games.
You're not gonna have every game. You're not gonna have every game on your console of choice.
Yeah, it's
never been this way. It hasn't been this way since, you know,
the only
1985.
The only platform that might have that you're probably going to get 85% of all the third-party games is a PC. That's it. That's the only platform where you can say, well, I want most of the third-party games. That's the only one you're going to get it on is PC. If you want all the third-party games, you're not going to get it on the PlayStation, Sony, the Xbox, or the Nintendo system. And if you're getting a Nintendo system thinking you're going to get all the third-party games, you are out your damn mind. You are insane, sir. You need help.
He's not going to like it when you said that.
I don't care.
I don't, because you're insane. I mean, that's insane. Like, for you to think that, okay, look, listen, okay. The last time Nintendo got a lot of strong third-party support was for the SNES. They didn't get it for the N64. They got decent third-party support for the GameCube, but not great. They got shit third-party support for the Wii. I know people are going to say, well, there were a lot of third-party games on the Wii. Yeah, and there was a lot of fucking shovelware on the Wii, too. They got shitty third-party support on the Wii U. They have decent third-party support on the Switch. It's not great. It's decent. It's fairly decent. It's not like, gangbusters. You can't expect to get every third-party game on the console. I'm sorry. I know some people are going to get mad. I don't really care. It's not going to happen. Get over it. Get over it. Go do something else.
Yeah, it's just not how things work. Hasn't worked that way since day one. Not gonna have every freaking game you want on your platform of choice.
If you can't deal with that, well, too damn bad. Okay.
I mean, anybody who grew up during the earlier gens, the console race. I mean, you had an N64 and a PlayStation. You had a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis, or you went to your friend's house to play
TurboGrafx 16. And they had. And here's the thing: if you listen, it's like, okay, having a Nintendo console is like having the TurboGrafx 16. Okay, you're not gonna get everything. Okay, what you have is good, but you're not gonna get everything. That's why you have multiple consoles, or you have a console and a PC, so that you can have a greater platform to play your games. But you're not gonna get everything. Have you played any Dojin Stop games? Are those damn near hentai games? Third-party games for the Wii were fine to me. Well, Jorge, that's fine. I mean, no one's gonna. I mean, I'm not saying that all the third-party games for the Wii were garbage. I'm saying that because the Wii was such a successful console, like it got to the point that halfway through the life cycle of the console, about 50 to 75% of the games coming from third parties to the Wii was shovelware.
Yeah.
And when I say shovelware, I mean games that had zero effort, were just there to get a quick cash grab, and then take your money and run. All right. Like Sphinx, The Legend of Sphinx, or Anubis. Little shitty games that just were like GameCube ports, and PS2 ports. But yeah, you're not gonna have everything on every console. It's
as likely as trying to get the lottery every week. I mean, every day for the week.
Well, I won't even take it that far. It's just you're just not gonna get every game on every console. It's unrealistic. And furthermore, I mean, it's just not going to happen. I mean, I know some people are going to get mad when you say that. They're like, "Well,
yeah." A lot of his haters have been calling him out on wanting all third-party games to be released on the Switch, even the ones he hates.
Well, the thing is, it's unrealistic for you to expect like everything, because here's the thing. There's some games that don't have an audience on the Switch.
The Switch.
Like, there's some games that have never been on a Nintendo platform, and it wouldn't make sense for them to be there.
I mean, that's true.
Like, it wouldn't make sense for there to be see, what's a game that's like, it wouldn't make, like, I know people get mad. It wouldn't make sense for Kingdom Hearts 3 to be on the Switch.
No.
Because Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 weren't on the Switch. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 have never been on a Nintendo console. So
The
why,
fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 is on the Xbox One, I was about to say PC, which would have been one heck of a sorting. Well, it is astounding to me because again, that game's gonna bomb on that system. It's gonna take a complete shit on that system just because nobody wanted. Who on the Xbox is in the Kingdom Hearts? Like who? Who on the? If you're into Kingdom Hearts, you already have a PS4. Like it makes absolutely. What the hell are you doing, Square?
The
it makes no sense.
The thing is that Kingdom Hearts has always been on a PlayStation platform. Like it wouldn't make sense for that game to not be on a Nintendo platform because it's never been on a Nintendo platform. So, you know, I mean, yeah, it's been on.
That is unless Square was able to port 1.5 and 2.5 onto the Switch.
Yeah, but would they do that? I mean, knowing how Square is now, would they do that?
No, I guess they're shoving all their Final Fantasy games on the Switch just because they're like, oh, we need money.
Yeah,
and Sony ain't giving it to us anymore.
That was like, okay,
serves them right.
We need money. We're running out of money. We desperately need money. And damn it, you're going to give it to us. Like, that's basically what that shit was. That was not... And I know some people are going to get mad when I say that. They're going to be like, how dare you, sir?
The funny thing is, I actually hope that Kingdom Hearts actually comes to the Switch because the game feels more home on Nintendo than on PlayStation right now.
Oh, there's tons of games that should definitely be on a Nintendo platform. I mean, Okami should have stayed on the GameCube, and yet it was moved over, and that was where they messed up.
Probably bombed on the PS2.
Yeah, it bombed on the PS2. So, I mean, look, I'm the first person who will tell you, yeah, some shit needs to stay where it is, but you know, it is what it is, you know.
Oh.
I mean, I wish things were different, but
yeah. If anything, it's at least a pipe dream.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Look, I'm gonna keep it 100%. I wish. Look, I would love for things to go like they were back in the day, where if you had a Nintendo console, you would get like 90% of the third-party games you'd get. It's not like that anymore. Those days are over. It's never. You're never gonna see those days again. So don't even screw your mouth up to say that shit. Like, don't even. Like, why embarrass yourself? You know, you're like.
Well, he's already embarrassing himself from his haters in the comments.
I mean, you're like, someone saying that is like someone basically coming up and saying. It's like when someone gets a divorce, right? And you had a contentious divorce. Like it's never gonna turn out well again. And then you're like, well, you know, we might get back together. No, it's not gonna happen.
No. Those days are over. I mean, it was fun while they lasted, but they're over.
No, it was contentious. Like it wasn't even fun while it lasted. You guys got divorced. This shit's over. There's no coming back. There's no, you know, we can still be friends. It's over.
No, I'm talking about the days where Nintendo had, you know, a great deal of the third parties. Like for us, it was fun. Third parties hated it. Those companies.
Well, I mean, because they didn't want discipline, right? It's like basically they didn't want discipline. But I mean, most of the third parties that were like, yeah, we got freedom now. Okay, you got freedom. Let's see what that freedom has won you. A lot of those third parties have gone out of business with that freedom. I'm free. I can do whatever I want. It's kind of like when you're in your parents' house and they're paying the bills, and all you got to do is just take out the trash and, you know, go to school and get good grades. You're like, I want freedom. And then you get freedom and you realize, shit, freedom's hard. I mean, that's basically...
That's the funny thing.
I want freedom. Why are you holding me back? Look, your parents aren't holding you back. They're just want
They're
what's
supporting.
best, you know. And people can't have that. They get angry when you say that. They're like, "How dare you, sir?" But I mean, I hate to use that. It's like having a boss who's always like, you know, why don't you do your best? You know, they like a good manager brings out the best in you, right? A good manager, a good leader makes you better, right? And because look at all those people who are like, yeah, Nintendo's holding us back. Yeah, look at Rare. Nintendo was holding them back. Have they been doing well since they left Nintendo?
Yeah.
I mean, there is only one company that left Nintendo and is doing better than they were when they were working with Nintendo, and that's DMA Design, aka Rockstar.
I was gonna say, isn't that the crew that they hired to help them with their mobile services?
No, DMA Designs is they later became Rockstar. You know, Rockstar, GTA Rockstar.
Well, I can kind of understand. Okay. I can understand why
there was
I can understand why Rockstar might have a bit of contention, because they had a lot of projects for the 64, and then they canceled a lot of them. And then Nintendo canceled a lot of them.
Yeah, but that is the only company that left Nintendo and actually is doing well. Like every other third party was like, yeah, we don't need you. Fuck you. We don't need your help. Like, look at Square Enix. Square Enix isn't doing well.
I was gonna say Square Enix is kind of crawling back to Nintendo.
Yeah, they do
I
that.
say kind of because,
like, every time they realize, oh shit, we need some money. Oh, we can just put these games on the Nintendo platform. Those suckers will buy it. Not me.
Nah. Final Fantasy.
I'm not buying it.
Final Fantasy does screw itself too.
You screw me over once, that's on me. You screw me over twice, that's too many times you done screwed me over.
Yeah.
And I don't need people screwing me over and over again. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. To quote M'Baku from Black Panther, we shall not have it. Oh, I'm bored. We shall not have it. We shall not have it. I'm not playing. No. Square Enix hasn't released a great game. Square Enix hasn't released a good Final Fantasy in years. Okay? Years. The last good Final Fantasy game I played was Final Fantasy 12. And that's not even a Final Fantasy game.
That's the deviant of Final Fantasy, as in a sub-series, as far as I could call it.
Well,
because from
release, which is from Final Fantasy Tactics, not Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is like each game typically is its own world. The only connection is that there's certain beats that the games have. Like they have summons, they have like magic users. They like a lot of times they'll be crystals, but it's always a different world. If you have a Final Fantasy that takes place in the same world, it's not really a Final Fantasy game because there's supposed to be a new story every time. with no connection to the other ones.
Yeah. Apparently, there's rumors of a Final Fantasy X-3. I'm kind of like, who cares? Who wants that? Who's asking for X-3?
Yeah, they did that. They were like, oh, we're going to do Final Fantasy 4-2, the after years. It's like, I don't give a shit about what happened after these people saved the world. Why would you do that? But anyway, I think we've exhausted the topics. Let's pimp out what you guys want to pimp out, and then we'll wrap things up. Okay.
All right.
So who wants to go first?
It's Kenoshi Abominito, and game we should all play. A game that nobody talked about last year was Crosscode. It's a great little Zelda clone / twin stick shooter
/ RPG.
And Red Dead Redemption is overhyped. It's overrated.
I mean, the first game was overhyped and overrated. Like, I had that game on PS3. I bought it on sale for like $30, Game of the Year edition with all the DLC and everything. And I was like, people like this? It's so boring.
Yeah, it looks boring to me. It looks so boring.
Just riding a horse and just riding from. At least in GTA, I can listen to the radio. but GTA, Red Dead Redemption, you can't even listen to the damn radio.
I think what would be funny if or what would have been made the game more interesting if it was like an old western that had fantasy elements or something. Riding your horse and fighting a giant sandworm or something, or I don't know. It just seems like the more realistic the game is, the more boring it becomes. Because now you got to worry about in this sequel, you got to worry about your horse dying. You got to worry about,
Sorry, though, my fire alarm is still going on, so I had to mute myself.
Okay,
that's okay, man. You take care of your fire alarm.
You got to feed your horse, and you got to make sure your horse doesn't get too dirty, or else it'll die, and all this other stuff. And your health slowly drains. You got to eat. It's just kind of like, I don't. If I'm gonna, I'd rather either give me an action adventure game or give me a survival game.
But don't do both.
Yeah, don't do both.
Pick a lane, stick with it.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, I like how it has those elements, but it didn't lean on them
too heavily. Yeah.
Yeah.
like here's the thing. I have nothing against having RPG like stats that you build up by doing shit, but they did that better. Like they did that better in San Andreas.
Yeah, that would have been a better system. Like, if you eat a lot of meat, you have like higher.
You got some weight.
You get stronger.
Yeah, you get fat.
You build protein and get stronger. If you eat vegetables, you become leaner and faster, but you're not as you
don't have as much health. You
Yeah.
get fat, you have more health, but you move slower. Or you eat healthy and you get like trim, you move faster, but you don't have as much base health. Like, I mean, that makes sense, but yeah, whatever. Anyone else have anything they want to pimp out?
Well, I'm all right so far.
All right. Pinky can't give his pimping out because, fire
He's
alarm.
got sound going on.
So I guess it's up to me. This is Mr. Red Fox. I'm currently playing through Tales of Vesperia. It's a great game. Not perfect, but it's pretty damn awesome.
Have you played through it before?
Yeah, I did. But it was a long time ago on the 360 that I borrowed from a friend and just basically was like, okay, I just really want to do well on this.
Yeah, I'm glad that game became multi-plat.
As am I.
What about the other two JRPGs that came out on 360 that are, those ever go multi-plat or?
I hope not. They aren't very
Fire
good.
alarm is gone.
Oh, you didn't like the one about the moon and the other one about the.
No, I
Good
didn't.
news. The fire alarm is off.
Okay.
And Lost Odyssey, and what was
Lost
the one about?
Odyssey's okay, but it's not like people who talk about that game like it's the best shit ever. I'm like, it's okay. It's not like it's not the
not
best
epic.
shit ever.
Yeah. What was that game about the? What was that game about the moon? They had the moon chained, and they were trying to bring it down or something weird like that.
The last something.
Last Remnant, I think.
I forgot what it was, but
There's also a Square Enix 360 exclusive game that just ain't ever gonna see multiplat. I guess nobody cares about it, so it's never gonna go multiplat. I don't know. I was interested in revisiting those games again, I guess.
they just need to stop doing that. Like stop making exclusives for the Xbox One because for Xbox because especially RPGs because they don't play JRPGs. Okay, they don't care. Stop doing that.
That was
it's
a weird
annoying.
era. I guess that's kind of a weird era because you saw these random JRPGs coming to the 360 that were exclusive. I saw they were trying so hard to reach out to the Japanese market.
And look how the Japanese market reacted.
It's just not a thing. It's kind of stupid. It's weird that someone would do that. It doesn't make any sense. It's like okay. It's like if you put a whole bunch of like hardcore H-rated like M not even M AO rated games on the Nintendo system. AO games have never sold on a Nintendo system. Why would you do that?
Why would you put it?
That's as logical as trying to sell ice to Eskimos.
You can't really advertise it. It's not like they're going to advertise it on their store or anything.
As I said, that kind of thing is like selling ice to Eskimos.
And where do you get AO games anyway? Is it just a Japanese thing?
Only AO. Adult only game.
No, I know what it stands for.
That's as rare as unicorn.
Yeah, how do you get a hold of those?
Well, they don't sell them in
underground
normal
contacts.
So they don't sell them in normal places, so you have to nowadays order them from
the store directly.
Well, online. Back in the day, you'd have to order them from order them from special places.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any, which tells you how hard it is to find some of them.
Yeah.
So I should mention other things before we wrap things up. Bowset's creator just won a trophy from Pixiv and Nico.
Bowset, god dang.
No, we're just gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately. So what do I have to pimp out? Nothing. I would say I have some videos coming out, but I probably don't because until I get my my new computer up and running, it's just not going to be worth it. So to make videos, so normally I capture video game footage and then I do that type of fun stuff.
And I gotta get back to playing Crash.
What?
I gotta get back to playing Crash as well.
All right. So with that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. And keep it gaming. Just play your games. And with that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Peace. And if you're stuck in snow, dig your way out.